Hello, dear students. I welcome you all for the online lecture series of Design of Steel Structure. In today's lecture, we will learn how to solve the numerical on laterally unsupported beam. So, this is our statement. Question: design a laterally unsupported I section beam with simply supported ends of an effective span 6 meter and subjected to the working imposed load of 35 kilonewton per meter. Assume that fully torsion and warping restraints are provided at the support. According to the numerical, this is the diagram. 6000 mm span, that is the 6 meter span. It's carrying the moment. Now, how this moment is there? 53.78 kilonewton per meter. The load 53.78 kilonewton per meter. We will be studying here. So first, our first step is to write down the given data. Here the span is of 6000 mm, that is 6 meter, and the working UDL is given over here. It is 35 kilonewton per meter. But as the load acting mentioned in the numerical is the working load, without including the self weight of the section, we need to assume the self weight of the beam first, and that's why we are assuming it in between 0.55 kilonewton per meter to 0.95 kilonewton per meter, and from between this value we are taking a single value of 0.85 kilonewton per meter as a self weight of the beam. Hence the ultimate load will be calculated by taking the sum of 35 plus 0.85 and multiplying it by factor of safety 1.5. Hence this value comes 53.775 kilonewton per meter, and this is the UDL acting over the span of the beam. Then after calculation of ultimate load, we have to calculate the maximum shear force and the bending moment. The maximum shear force is calculated by WL upon 2, and the bending moment is calculated by WL square by 8. So VU is equals to WL by 2, and therefore we are getting the maximum shear force as 161.34 kilonewton, and the maximum bending moment by substituting the value in the WL square by 8, we are getting the maximum bending moment as 242.01 kilonewton meter. Then we have to plot the shear force diagram. It is as shown in the figure. After plotting the shear force diagram, and we are getting the bending moment diagram, and we are marking the maximum bending moment. Then the third step is to find out the plastic section modulus for the trial section. For calculating the plastic section modulus, we have to equate the design bending strength to the maximum factored bending moment. Therefore, the design bending moment is for 242.01 m into 10 raised to 6. That here we are converting it into the Newton mm. That's why 10 raised to 6 is multiplied, and it is equals to ZP into FBD. Here, as told previously, we have to assume the FBD. As it is a I section, that's why we are assuming it as a 130 MPa. Dividing the moment design bending strength by the FBD, we calculate the ZP of the section. Therefore, the ZP is equals to 1.86 into 10 raised to 6 mm cube. Then try from the value of ZP, we have to select the section. We have to select the section, and that too from Annexure H of IS 800 2007. Let us try ISHB 450 about 87.2 kg per meter, and from the steel table we have to write down the properties of the section. The total depth H as 450 mm, width of the flange BF as 250 mm, thickness of the web flange as 13.7 mm, thickness of the web as 9.2 mm, IZZ, that is IXX, as 39,210.8 mm raised to 4, H1, which is equals to which we are calculating by subtraction of the two root radius 1 as well as the thickness of the flange, and RZ, that is the RXX, RY, it is equals to 51.8, ZP 1955.03 into 10 raised to 3 mm cube, ZE 1742.7 into 10 raised to 3 m cube, and R1 is equals to 15 mm. Then from table number 2 we need to classify the section. Remember friends, as told in the previous lecture, this classification of cross section is very important, as we have to classify the section many times in the design of beam as well as in the design of columns and everywhere. It is a compulsory step. So here we have to classify the section, and two categories. First is web criteria and second is the flange criteria. So according to the flange criteria, we need to take BF upon TF, and here as it is a I section, BF is divided by 2. Substituting these values into the formula, we get BF upon TF is equals to 9.12, which is less than 9.4 epsilon. Hence our flange is plastic. Then coming towards web, H1 upon TW, this ratio is equals to 339.40, and it is less than 84 epsilon. Hence our web is also plastic. As our flange is plastic and the web is plastic, I can say that my section is also plastic, and therefore our value of beta B is equals to 1. Then we need to calculate the design shear strength of the section. Clause number 8.4.1 of page 59 gives us the formula regarding it. The formula is VD is equals to FYW into AW upon root 3 gamma M0, which is equals to FYW is 250, AW is the area of the web, and root 3 gamma M0. By substituting this value, we know that our VD is greater than VU. Hence our beam is safe. Then we check that whether the beam is subjected to the high shear or a low shear. The criteria for it is 0.6 VD, the multiplication of 0.6 VD. If it is greater than VU, then it's a case of a low shear, and if it is less than VU, then it's a case of a high shear. Substituting the value of VD as calculated in the previous step into the given formula, we get the value of we come to know that 0.6 VD is greater than VU. Hence the case is of the low shear. Then as it is the case of the low shear, we have to calculate the design bending strength of the section MD from clause number 8.2.2 of page number 54. So MD is equals to beta B into ZP into FBD. For calculation of FBD, that is the design bending compressive stress due to the lateral buckling, the critical stress FCRB is to be calculated first. Then for calculating the FCRB, we require the slenderness ratio, that is the lambda is equals to KL upon R, and H upon TF ratio. So KL, that is effective length, is equals to 0.7 into 600, that is equals to 64200. We have learned in the previous lecture how to calculate this effective length, and table number 15, page number for 58 is governs or gives the value for the KL. Then referring the table number 14 of page number 57 of IS 800 2007, we have to calculate the values. Okay, so from table number 14 what we do is that we know we have to calculate the KL upon RXX, and value of RXX is substituted and H upon TF is 32.84. So we have to go for the two interpolation, that is 32.84 value we have to calculate from 30 and 35, as well as for the for 30 as our value of KL upon RZ is 22.7 and it lies between 20 and 30, we have to first interpolate these two values. For the 20 and 30, for H upon TF is 32.84, and thereafter calculating this value, these two values of H upon TF 32.84, for this value we are calculating these two values, and for KL upon RZ for 22.36 we get our value of H upon TF as of FBD as 4768.70. Then again for KL upon RY we are calculating in the same way the value. Then for FBD we refer to table number 13 for the rolled steel section for alpha LT is equals to 0.21, and then by using the same manner FCRB for 4768.70 and 379.20 we are getting the values of FBD. Hence the MD, the formula MD is equals to beta B into ZP into FBD. The value of FBD is substituted and we get the MD which is greater than the MU, hence our beam is safe. Then the design checks. The first check is for the web buckling. We know that the web buckling is calculated by using the formula FWB is equals to B into TW into FCD. Here we assume that the strip bearing length is equals to B is equals to 120 mm. Therefore, the capital B is equals to 120 plus H1 upon 2, which is equals to 313.1 mm for the end reaction, and TW is equals to 9.8 mm. FCD depends upon the slenderness ratio and which is equals to 2.45 H1 upon TW, which is equals to 96.55. From table number 9C, page number 42, Fy is equals to 250. Therefore, and Fy is equals to 250, we interpolate and get the value of FCD as 1111.83 MPa. Therefore, substituting all this value in the formula of FWB, we get the value of FWB as 343.13 kilonewton, which is greater than Vu. Hence, our beam is safe in the web buckling. Then we calculate the web crippling. We are having the formula for web crippling as Fw is equals to Ae into Fyw divided by gamma m0, where Fyw is 250 MPa and Ae is equals to B1 into TW. Further, this B1 is written as B plus N1. Here B, as we have assumed, as 120 and N1 is equals to 2.5 into TF plus R1, and we are substituting the values in the formula, and therefore we get the value of AE as 1879.15 mm square. Then substituting all this value into the formula of FW, we get that our value of FW is 427.07 kilonewton, which is greater than VU, that is 61.34. Hence our beam is safe in the wave crippling. Then the last check for the beam is nothing but the check for the deflection. First is the deflection due to the external workload delta actual is equals to 5WL raised to 4 upon 384 EIXX. Then substituting our values into given formula, we get that the external working load deflection, that is delta actual, is 7.53 mm. Then the maximum deflection allowed as per the IS 800-2007, delta limit is span by 300 to span by 240. The value lies between 20 mm to 25 mm, but our actual value of delta is much lesser than the delta limit. Hence our beam is safe in the deflection. And here therefore we can commit that ISHB 450 about 87.2 kg per meter can be used for the design for the given loading. It is safe for all the checks, that is bending moment, shear force, wave buckling, wave crippling and the deflection. Thank you. So for the next video, keep watching the channel, like and subscribe the channel. Thank you.